Hello everyone, today we'll be starting a new Nuzlocke run. Before we get much into it though, I will quickly explain the rules, both in Nuzlocke as well as some other rules we will be trying to abide by today. The three big main rules are as follows. Once a Pokemon faints, it is dead forever. The second is that you can only catch the first Pokemon you encounter on each route. If we encounter any duplicate Pokemon on the routes, we will then go and find another Pokemon until the Pokemon we find is no longer a duplicate. And the third is that you must always name your Pokemon. We also are adding two other rules. The first, I will not be leveling above the next gym's cap within reason. PDSP, however, due to the XP share not being able to be disabled, does have sections, especially mid-game, where over-leveling is going to be basically unavoidable, so only within reason. And the second rule that I'm going to try and have is I'm going to restrict item usage as much as possible, only relying on using it in very desperate times. I think that's all the rules you need to know, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, so last time I picked a gym Charo, but with the rules being a bit relaxed from the previous attempt, that, is something that exists at all, I do think I'm going to choose something a bit different. Turtwig's obviously my favorite Pokemon, but, there's not many good grass types, are there? Because there's Turtwig, there's Roserade. Don't know if you can easily get like tank growth for like a physical tank, so I might just go with him and accept the fact that there's gonna be a 4x weakness in there, which is definitely gonna be unfortunate for the Ice Gem or the Elite Four because there's a lot of ice type coverage moves there, but he is pretty tanky. He does learn Leech Seed, Synthesis, and Curse, so he could be a decent stalling-ish Pokemon. So I think he is also just my favorite, so I think I'm gonna take him. And, I'll just try to make it work because the rules this time around are a bit more relaxed than they were last time, as I probably have covered in the beginning talkover section. So yeah, the first couple of battles should not be all that bad. Also, as opposed to the previous section, or the previous attempt, over-leveling is not going to be sought out, but it's not going to be a strict rule against, which means that things will be a lot easier at the beginning, and basically the same in the middle and the end part, so, yeah. Okay, so now it comes time for the very first naming process. And just like in the failed attempt, very bad with names. Instead of going for like more human names this time, now we're just going to go for very generic type names of like Shelly for turtles. I don't know if there's a cat, we can do like, I don't know, Pouncy, I don't know. I'm going to go for those types of names this time around. I like having some sort of consistency. Also, in case anyone is wondering about what things do make it in and what things don't make it in, generally all of the quote-unquote story type events like this normally would not go in because, well, they don't really mean much. Pokemon is not a game about story. Never really been a game about story. Boring fights, basically fights that like there's no danger, there's nothing really happening, those don't usually get in. Fights that are boring but for some reason do pose a challenge, those do go in. So basically if you see a fight in here, I either edited it incorrectly or it's about to get interesting. So that's a nice little spoiler for you. The vast majority of fights though, especially once you get into like mid-game, mid to end game, barring Elite Four, a lot of those fights are just very easy because you just out-level them by like 10 levels at that point or something. Just like basically put out one Pokemon, spam a super effective move, and then it's like, okay, I guess everything just dies now. I'm just going to stop off and actually get some stuff real quick. As it's covered in the beginning, items are only going to be used outside of combat and under very dire circumstances where they are very needed, otherwise the year is going to be basically a team wipe, or a vast majority of the members are going to die. So we're going to take some with us, but they shouldn't be used a lot. We're also going to get some free Pokeballs here, so we don't need that many. I'm just going to buy 10 though. Just for fun. And as with the previous attempt, I'm counting any routes that we've already been to, which is basically to say, the previous route is having already gotten our encounter there, so we're going to skip that and move on to Route 202 immediately. Alright, so this is our first encounter we'll be adding to our team. It's a nice little Bidoof. You kind of love Bidoof. I actually just, for this run, we beat the BSB twice now. I'm not even going to risk this. We've beat BSB twice now. The first was with a, an actual run through the game, enjoying it. The second run was a Bidoof only team. And honestly, ironically, that one went better somehow. Well, I know how. But it went better than my actual legit team. But, yeah. Bidoof, definitely a pretty good Pokemon. Basically only if it has Moody, of course. If it doesn't have Moody, then if it has Moody, that's good. Your name will be... I honestly don't know. What summarizes a Bidoof's character well? Toothy? I think Toothy should be pretty good, because they do have those like 2 big teeth at the top of them, right? Yeah. Alright. Welcome aboard, Toothy. We're gonna see real quick what the natures are on these Pokemon. That's great. Adamant, that's really good. Gentle is meh. It's also unaware, so sadly our Bidoof is not going to be all that good. But he's there. He's gonna help us out as much as he can, I guess. Getting Adamant is actually so good on it because that does make it able to do some quite decent bits of damage. Because this is a Nuzlocke, I don't think I'm going to be using Woodhammer build. We're probably just going to run Earthquake. Maybe Giga Drain, probably not Giga Drain though. Probably just like Earthquake and Earthquake's maybe Synthesis, Leech Seed, Curse, something like that. Maybe if we get leftovers, add in Protect instead of maybe Protect instead of Synthesis? I don't know. No, Synthesis probably isn't that great, right? I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see. Leech Seed, though, plus Leftovers, plus Protect is definitely pretty strong. I think getting Curse would be a bit too strong, though, to pass up. So maybe we do just get rid of Synthesis, and then at that point spam Earthquake when we can. Obviously, we don't have any coverage at that point for Flying types on good old Shelly. But I think, for the most part, I mean, Flying types and Levitates. But Levitate's not a huge deal, generally. Bronzong, that will be an issue. What else runs Levitate? Haunter does, Gengar doesn't. I don't think the Magneton, Magnezone, whatever ones. I don't think they have Levitate. I could be wrong on that one, though. I actually don't remember what else runs Levitate. But I have to assume there's more, right? Honestly, I think the 2 toughest parts of the game are going to be the beginning, especially like Rourke's Gym, because the Cranidos hits pretty hard. The Geodude's going to hit decently hard with the rollout, especially if you let them like live a couple of turns. So yeah, the beginning's actually going to be pretty rough, and then the ending with obviously the 4. It's going to be rough, assuming we don't just cheese it with items, but we're going to try once again not use items when possible. So yeah, I think those 2 areas are going to be definitely toughest. If we're able to get into the middle with a decent team, I don't think we should have any issues, honestly, to get through like the middle game all the way up to the end game. Just that once you get to the end game, it does get a bit more difficult again, so. Before we fight any of the trainers in there, I'm going to go ahead and get the other 2 Pokemon slots we can get before fighting our rival. which are the ones directly to the north, and then the ones in the cave to the north of the north. See where our next Pokemon is going to be added to the team is. Obviously, if it's rolled as a Bidoof, we cannot get that because of species duplicate clause, whatever you want to call it. So we will need to re-roll that, but thankfully we don't need to do that. We got a Starly instead. That is quite good. I think that means the next patch of grass to the right of the city, I think guarantees us a chance. Don't know why I attacked that, to be honest with you. I just kind of clicked A. Not a great strategy in a Nuzlocke. Glad I didn't kill it by accidentally critting it. So, yeah. Almost bad, but we're fine. And this one's name will very likely be Flappy, because it is a bird. And that is the limit of my imagination right now. So, welcome aboard, Flappy the Starly. Which I cannot even spell correctly. There we go. Welcome aboard. Oh, you can get Bidoos out here? That would have been actually a pretty good option to get that. Once you get it into Roserade, it becomes very strong, since it has access to, not Spore, but it has access to Sleep Powder, great stat line, or Poison, that's fun. Just having access to like Sleep Powder with a very high speed stat, that's really good to have. So yeah, would have been cool. Would have been cool. Sadly, was not to be. Good to know though, because actually that may shift us in the future, if this fails, from going north first to going right first, trying to get a Starly there, and then heading north to maybe get a Bidoof. I think that might not be a bad idea. Especially if we go with the fire type starter, because the first gym's rock type, getting a Bidoof early would actually be pretty good. Anyways, it's now time to get our second Pokemon, or fourth Pokemon of the run, which hopefully is going to be a Zubat. It might be a Geodude, don't really know. Could be either one. And it is a Zubat. Very nice. So, that's very good. Gotta love Crobat. Crobats are very nice. I'm not even going to attack this one as well. And this one's name will be Fangy. Fangy. Yeah, sure. So, welcome aboard, Fangy. Not to name like Batty. You know, I think I like Batty a bit more. So his name will be Batty instead of Fangy. Welcome aboard, Batty the Bat. And let's just, while we're here, see what our new Pokemon have. This one's Sassy, which is very bad. And then this one is mild, which honestly isn't that bad. Special type move, it has a decent set of special type moves, because it has like air slash, it probably has some like special toxic moves as well. It's not awful. I mean, obviously losing defense is pretty bad. I would have preferred to have its special attack increased and its attack decreased, if anything. Because, Batty is supposed to be a tank, but, oh well. Could have been worse, is basically what I'm saying. Could have been way worse. Alright, so the north has been cleared out now. Our Pokemon are a decent level. Shelly is like one level too high, but honestly I'm not going to worry about that too much. I have clearly forgotten something. But, I haven't got my, oh, right. Okay, so, not quite time yet for the rival fight. It'll be time in around 10 seconds for, yeah. Alright, Now it's time for the rival fight. Do not worry about what happened before. You may or may not have forgotten to do the side quests for the watch, but it doesn't matter really. So, yeah. Shelly is sadly one level higher than the max level, quote-unquote cap here, but once again, we're caring less about that this run, just because, So while I'm not sure about this run in particular, I know that when we did the previous run, the Pokemon had not yet learned any type of move super effective against their own. Now, obviously Chimchar would know a Fire-type move at this point, but once again, we do not know, or I do not know off the top of my head, if he will or if the game is easy enough to not give them a super effective move yet. I think we should be fine here with just staying in, honestly, just like spamming tackles. We could, if you wanted to, switch out once, but I think regardless I can stay in for one more attack here. With this Leer, I think the Leer crit would now kill us, so we are going to go ahead and leave if this doesn't kill, and switch into, I don't know, Flappy is pretty... I don't think anything's going to outspeed though, and Flappy does have a minus speed nature, so I think Toothy's going to be a bit safer. This just because he is more tanky, and can very likely survive 2 hits from a Chimchar scratch. Especially if he just ends up leering once, he can definitely be fine then. Even if he does get crit, it'll only do like, I don't know, 18, 19, that kind of sort of range, but we're fine. And just like that, the rival is dead again. This run is going so much smoother than the previous run. Is actually kind of insane. But hey, I guess that's what happens when... I don't know. I guess that's just what happens. It is now time, by the way, to get the counter for this route. It's, I think, almost guaranteed to be a Jinx, because we have a Starly, we have the Bidoof, so we run away from the Starly, because, we can always get a different thing. So I think it's guaranteed to be a Shinx. I think in Platinum at least. There's a chance they could find Abras around here, but I don't know if that's in BDSP as